Yeah, now we want to begin to practice with Magic School AI. And the first on my list, which I know is a very popular um, need of teachers, is to create a lesson note or a lesson plan. Okay, and now let's begin. Now, if it gives you recommendations like what you would like to use Magic School for, so based on worldwide use of these Magic Schools, is recommending YouTube video questions. It says generate guiding questions aligned to a YouTube video. Okay, we are going to get to YouTube later on. Okay, image generator, we are all going to get to this, but let's start with, now this is where the main action is. Okay, these are the tools, all tools, you see them now, all. Now if you look down here, you will see a plethora of tools that Magic AI, has specific for teachers. This is what makes it really amazing. This is what makes it, really, really amazing for teachers, educators, coaches, and even students alike rather. Unlike the very popular and generic Chat GPT, this Magic School AI is specifically tailored for teachers' needs, for educators' needs, from the most basic educator to the highest level of education attainment, whether it's professorship, doctorate, whatever. So everything is here. So for the educator part, I said we are going to start with lesson plan. All right, and this is where we want to start with. So just tap on lesson plan. All right. Okay, and it begins to open up. Now let us begin to practice. Okay, now the first thing you see is the grade level. So this is one wonderful thing about this AI. There is the grading, so you can create a lesson plan, okay, based on a specific grade you are teaching, and the AI will create the lesson plan to suit that specific grade. So if you want to create a lesson plan suitable for people from 5 to 6 years old or 7 year olds, I think those ones will largely be between primary 4, primary 3 or to primary 4 or thereabouts. Those, that age range, you get. You can now go ahead and pick something like, fourth grade. You understand what I mean? Okay, so that let me give an example now. So let's say I want to create a lesson plan for, let me use myself as an example. Let's say ICT. I want to create a lesson plan for GSS 1. All right, and GSS 1 is 7th grade. Perfect, it's already in 7th grade. All right, so GSS 1 is 7th grade, in Nigeria. 7th grade abroad is equivalent to those in GSS 1 in Nigeria. So I pick 7th grade. Okay, now it says topic, standard or objective. Okay, so you can more or less specify the the way you want it to create the lesson plan here. Okay, so you can specify that here. All right, so if you for example, I can say, now there's something I want to do, because this is very, very important. I know, for example, for us as educators, especially in Nigeria, we usually work with a curriculum. All right, we work with a preset curriculum, you get, so that we can't just afford to just want it to generate a lesson plan for us. For example, if I want to say, this can be a generic one. If I say generate a lesson plan or note for a topic called ICT suitable for grade 7 students. All right. Now, if I go ahead and create this, okay, it will surely do it. Okay, but the issue now is that it may not do it exactly with the maybe the lesson notes we have created. You get what I mean? Or from the textbook that we were given to create our lesson note from. There's usually a stipulated textbook that you should use, and from which maybe textbook or from the syllabus, the YouTube video you should use, or you should generate your lesson plan from, or the internet materials you should use to then generate the lesson note for that particular topic. You get what I mean? So it has to be specific to that particular source. You get? So that this one may just generate a generic one, but thankfully we have the attachment option. All right, so that all I need to do, you can see this thing that looks like a pin here. All right, you can see this thing that looks like a pin here. All right, okay, I'm realizing something. Yeah, you just tap this, okay, to upload the particular file that contains maybe your lesson notes. All right, your lesson notes, written or typed. Okay, and once you upload it here, it will generate a lesson note specific to that topic, the content of that topic in this your PDF. It can be in PDF form, in a Microsoft Word form, in a PowerPoint form, or even in an image form. Okay, it can be a PDF also located in your Google Drive, all right, and Microsoft OneDrive. Now there's something I need to talk about. Now here is for topic, standard or objective. Like this part is for topic, standard and objective. So for here now, we should just write generate a lesson note suitable for grade 7 on the attached document below. All right, now so that's the objective we are setting for it. We want it to generate a suitable lesson note from the attached document. Now this leads me to how we can create the attached document. All right, I may have to pause here a bit because you have to have the PDF ready on the particular topic you want to generate a lesson note for, okay, of which you now attach it here. Okay, now having done this, let me close this a bit, and I want to open an app, a very useful app. Okay, because some of you may say my lesson notes or my topic, okay, is something I wrote it down, like I don't really type per se. You get what I mean? I don't really type per se, I wrote it down. All right, so that how am I now going to make it PDF form and everything? I'm used to writing it with my pen and what have you. But there's this very incredible software app called Text Scanner. Let me tap it here. I will drop the description. I will show you, or rather I may even show you here how you can download this Text Scanner. All right, Now, what this text scanner does is that you can snap a page, all right, a page of something you wrote down. For example, look at this week 6 lesson notes, all right. Let me switch to the photo. Do you see this? This is a week 6 lesson note of JSS 1 that I wrote down. Okay. Now, I didn't um um I didn't pick the whole lesson notes, as it were. I only picked the part of the content, when creating this part that you see. Okay, it's only the content I'm looking for, because I don't need the lesson notes. I just need the content. For some of you, you might just need, it's only the content you need, because the AI will generate the lesson notes for you. But I'm using this example as a way to explain that you can snap, for example, only your content, like where you wrote the content, where you formed your content. You get what I mean? Where you form the content of your topic. Let's say, for example, if you see here, my content of topic is booting. Okay, booting. So maybe the content, you've generated the content for booting, you wrote it down somewhere. Okay, and now you want to create a lesson note of that content. You get what I mean? So I'm just using this as an example that you can snap that topic that you wrote about, okay, somewhere on your paper. You can snap it using this text scanner. It's very simple. Okay, like I showed you here. So once you download it, I will show you how to download. So all you need to do is you just need to tap this camera button, okay, and it will enable you snap whatever you need to snap, okay, on your book, okay, like the content of your book, what you wrote on your paper, okay, as the content of your subject. Now once you snap it, you can now go ahead and it will give you an option to select the part you want to be scanned. And once you do that, once you press scan, it will scan the wordings from that paper, okay, and put it as a digital format. Now it is from this digital format you can begin to extract that content it snapped, make a little adjustment. For example, if you look here, you see that I did a pretty good job. You see that there are hardly errors per se. Now, since we are looking at lesson notes, I really don't need all these parts, okay? These parts of objectives, I just want to go straight to the content. All right, so I'm going to clean out that part. Now, this is like the content of the note you created, and you want to create a lesson note out of it. All right, so what is booting? Do you see that? Now, having done this, you can now check to be sure that it got the wordings very well, it spelt it very well. And most times, just make sure that your handwriting is visible to a large extent, is neat to a large extent, okay. It really does a good job. For example, if you look at, you see that it really got a lot of the wordings. What is booting? Booting is the process of starting up the computer and loading the operating system. Do you see that? So you will see that it did a good job. So all you just need to do is just make certain adjustments. All right, just make certain adjustments, okay. Now after making certain adjustments, okay, like you are seeing me do, because I want this to be as practical as possible. You can see I'm just making certain adjustments, flow of data, to the hardware devices. Okay, just making some adjustments. All right. All right. So I just want to stop here for now. Okay, but this is just an example. Now after you do this, you can now select all, copy it. All right. After copying this, we now need to just go and open a Word document software and paste it there and save it as a PDF, because it needs to be saved either as a Word document or in a PDF format or in a PowerPoint format for Magic School to be able to use it, read it, and generate a lesson note out of it. So there's this word, I won't even say is a word processing document. It's an all in all in one multi-purpose office document app called WPS Office. It has both PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Word, so that you can use it for every. So it's called WPS Office. So you just come here and you tap. All right. And upon tapping, of course, you just close this. Okay. Downloading it is very simple. Okay. Now, after you do this, all you need to do is just press create. Okay. And choose the one that says doc, DOC. Press DOC and choose blank. The option that says blank. Now you can now come here and paste that. Do you see that? Paste the content of your written note here that you scanned from text scanner. Now upon doing this, all you need to do is just press just beside the done above, beside the done option. That's the save option icon. So just press that. Okay. And having pressed that, make sure you select where you want to save the document. So you just press phone, okay, which is your phone memory. And here where you see what is booting, you can now say, rename it to what you want. So what is booting notes? Okay. Now you can see beside it the format is .docx. It's very okay that you leave it like this, because this is one of the formats the Magic School accepts. But I'll just save it as a PDF anyway, so I'll change it to .pdf. Okay. And you can just make sure you remember where you saved it. Okay, so I'm saving it in my phone. Maybe I'll save it in one of the folders. Which folder? Called documents. Okay, so let me save it in this place called documents. Okay, and I press export. All right, and it says saved successfully. All right, so I close this. So having done this, all I now need to do is go back to my Magic School. I pray it will still be active. Okay, all I need to do is go back to my Magic School. Okay.
Yeah, just testing.
Sorry. Go back to my Magic School. Here. So we've gotten it prepared. Okay, I just needed to take the stress of getting the document prepared, teaching you how to get it prepared so that you can use it here should you want to create lesson notes from a specific document. So from here you can now say your objective. Please generate a lesson notes for the from, you can say from the document attached. All right, now you could go ahead and let's just put it here, upload PDF. So I go to my media, okay, and I go and check. You can see the most recent file that I created, my phone already recognizes it. So I don't need to even go to start searching, going to my Infinix, and searching for documents. You get, my phone already recognizes it from recent. So you just tap that what is booting.pdf. Okay, now it has loaded it. Now all you need to do now is you can leave this standard set align to, just leave it. Okay, then additional criteria, well, if you want to add an additional criteria, you can just say the students are between 9 to 12 years old. Make it fitting for their age range. So having done this, you can now go ahead and press generate. Now look at that. You see that? Do you see that? Now it has gone ahead to generate it. All right, and from this you can now see it gives you the objectives, all right, the assessments, the key points, the opening, that's the introduction. Okay, like this is like the presentation now. Okay, now you can see you can customize it based on how your school, whatever school you are teaching in, you understand, whether in Nigeria, Ghana, you can customize it to fit the headings. Okay, so you get what I mean. So you can customize it to such. Okay, so objectives, key points, the opening, that's yeah, the opening, the introduction. Okay, the opening can be also part of the introduction, whichever way you do it in your school. Okay, the opening can be previous knowledge, whichever way. Okay, you can do it. Okay, introduction to new material. Okay, guided practice, independent practice, closing. Okay, extension activity, homework. So the extension activity can be like project, homework can be assignment. All right, independent practice can be evaluation. All right, so it all depends on, guided practice can be evaluation too. So you can set it up in a way that suits the specific headings of how your lesson note format looks, all right, in your school. You understand? So it's really incredible. Okay, and it gives you really interesting ideas. Okay, like, see this guided practice, work with students to outline the booting process on the board. So it's giving you evaluative ideas. Use a flow chart to visualize the steps. Okay, all right. So you say explain the booting process step by step. All right, so this is like presentation. Okay, discuss the role of the BIOS. This is like presentation. Okay, so these are key points like summary. You get what I mean? I'm just doing this like based on certain ways a lesson plan and a lesson note is created in a few of two or so. I've worked in two schools. Okay, so two of the schools, it's not exactly the same, but they are very very similar. All right, so yeah, so these assessments, so this is like a practical assessment now, and it created this specifically from the notes that I had attached. For example, see, booting, the process of starting up a computer and loading the operating system. If you can recollect very carefully, that was exactly what I wrote on my notes. So it is picking everything exactly from the notes I created and giving me incredible ideas, more incredible evaluative ideas that I could use to make sure that the class is really impactful and really adds value, to the students, and to ensure that it excites their, critical thinking, and project based, practical, ability and tendency in them. You understand? So yeah, so we have taken our time to demonstrate how Magic School can be used to create a lesson note. All right, so I'm going to stop here for now, and in the next practical we are going to be looking at other incredible materials that we can use magicschool.ai to create. Thank you so much, and let's continue.